Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Round to TikTak here, and today we're going to be looking at Airheart, the brand new constructor that just came out. We're going to talk about her build, how you should play her, is she good, is she bad, and a lot of stuff like that. This character has been getting a lot of flack on Reddit for being bad, and she's just not. I'm here to tell you that she's a decent character. Granted, she needs some work, I'm not going to lie. She definitely does need some work, but she's not a bad character. She's not a piercing Lotus Edge, who is probably the worst character released in the game. We're going to take a look at her build, how to play her, is her turret worth it, and maybe make some other comparisons. Like I said, this character is getting a lot of hate, and I'll try to stem that flow. Because you guys, remember, I've been preaching it for a while. This game is no longer meta-based. It is fun-based. Fun is greater than meta. Currently, there's nothing in the game that is too hard, so have fun while you're playing. First up, her build. So Airheart is the brand new constructor. And as a constructor, of course, she has base, and a pretty decent base at that. You can read the stats right here. It is currently 5 segments, which isn't that small compared to some of the other offensive constructors. Also, being an offensive constructor, of course, she has kinetic overload. Electrified floors is a fantastic ability and is more rare in the constructor class. Automated defenses increases the base connectivity, so now we are up to 6 tiles, which is one of the larger bases in the game. She has her brand new ability, Rosie, the new turret, which we will touch on in a little bit. Fish in a barrel reduces the cooldown by 72 seconds. Campaign of the Rosie increases the damage by 24. Big Brother increases the connectivity once again by 1 piece, which is fantastic. Decoy, which used to be a better position, but it's still a decent ability for clearing trash mobs. Lofty Architecture increases the health of buildings within the area of base by 15%, and War of the Rosie increases the damage that Rosie deals by an extra 13%. Additionally, converts the damage type to Rosie to energy. And like I said, we're going to touch more on that, but let's take a look at her squad bonuses and what you might want to stick in there. So once you have her maxed out, you want to use a Reclaimer for her support, the extra energy damage, and you can use energy weapons. Granted, there are diminishing returns on the weapons to increase her damage output by Rosie and this as well. You can also do Ragnarok for here for your move creep, and that is decoy periodically damage within the attraction radius. Both of these things is how I use her. You can change a thing here or there if you do not have these characters. You can also put, you can make melee damage for support, you can do lifesteal, you can do headshot explosions. There are a lot of things that you can do to play this character a little differently. You could also use Trail Blaster to increase run speed on your base, which is kind of good, but her main thing is the turret, and we're going to talk about that next, and I'm going to show you guys some footage. It's not as bad as people think. I'm not saying it does not need buffs, but it's definitely not as bad as people say. So let's get into the meat and potatoes about this video, and that is Rosie, the turret for the new constructor Airheart. Even though, I'll be honest, I keep calling her Rosie. The turret itself is very cool. It's a lot of fun to use. It's very similar to Battle Royale, and it's pretty damn good. There's a lot of things that need to be tweaked on it, however, to get it in a more playable state. Now, first off, let's talk about the damage. In the video you see behind you, I was 3-manning a level 94 4-man, so the enemies were 109, but I did not have maximum shared party power. And I got about 60,000 to 50,000 damage numbers, which are not bad. You can see me melting smashers, melting husky husks, it doesn't matter. I kind of kill everything that's coming through. The damage isn't really what I am concerned about at all. A lot of people said that the damage is subpar, and it kind of is in reality. When you can use a Teddy and shoot at the same time, you're probably getting about the same damage numbers, but on a 40-second cooldown to a minute versus the 2-minute cooldown that she has on her turret. Speaking of the cooldown, I think it's a little too long, but not too much. I think about 30 seconds off and it would be in a perfect position if you want to keep it that way. I also do not understand why they did a cooldown plus a overheating mechanic on the same ability. It's a little too much, and I agree with some of the gripes that people are saying about that, but other ones I just don't understand. It may not be the turret we wanted, but it's definitely a usable ability that does a decent amount of damage. Or if you want to use it as a utility turret and clear down buildings if you don't have a minigun or an obliterator or something like that, just drop your turret before the mission starts. It's only on a 2-minute cooldown and burn down the entire area, and it drops buildings really fast. Now, the cooldown and the damage is a little weird, but my biggest gripe about the thing is normally you want to put it up high, at least one tile high, so you can get the best viewpoint for the enemies spawning. And that's great until the enemies are about 10 feet in front of you, and this thing happens where your line of sight gets blocked by your own tile that you had to place the turret on, and it becomes kind of annoying. That is probably my biggest gripe, not the damage, not the cooldown, not the numbers, but the fact that I can't shoot enemies sometimes because they're a little too close to me. It's also, you have to touch on the fact that it does make you remain stationary, and in that case, Teddy's might just out DPS this thing. I'm pretty sure White Sushi did do the numbers on it. I can link that post down in the comments below if you guys want to check it out for yourself. Let's dissect the turret just a bit more. So my main gripe, like I said, is that you cannot shoot things underneath you. Remember to always put something up above you, so build yourself like a little shack, because the hardest problem here is that you get blown up by lobbers or poison lobbers, and they just sit on top of you and you basically die 9 out of 10 times. So make sure you always place something above you. Now again, the damage, the cooldown, anything like that is not that big of a concern for me. I think it does pretty decent damage, but I do think there could be some improvements. You could keep the cooldown as it is and just add an explosion AoE effect similar to Raven's lefty and righty. That would make it a lot better, as it does only have 150 bullets. They do go kind of quick, especially if you have a smasher spawn. If that's the case, you're going to be running out of ammo real fast. So that's one thing they could do. Another thing could possibly make the bullets pierce. So if you do line it up in front of a tunnel, just pierce everything that it's shooting. Then 150 bullets act more appropriately. And they are like 50 caliber bullets. They should pierce, in my opinion. And I was kind of surprised they didn't. But regardless of the state that it's currently in, remember this, this game does get updates every single week. There definitely could be a patch that increases or changes or buffs or nerfs anything, really. And it's not bad to use. In fact, I can't really see why it's getting so much hate. When we've had characters that release like Piercing Lotus Edge and characters like that where they're just freaking terrible, that they do no damage, their kit does not blend well at all, or the Kunai Storm, which is still one of the worst targeting abilities in the game. I just don't understand all the hate. In fact, I'm kind of interested in Fortnite Save the World. This character, for some reason, just fits my playstyle very well, and I really enjoy playing her. I just want to touch on one more thing before I let you guys go. In the beginning, when I started first making Fortnite videos and was really into it and passionate about it, which I still passionate about Fortnite, just YouTube kind of fell by the wayside. I'm trying my best to bring it back, but that's neither here or there. I used to preach, meta builds. What's the best thing? How to do this, how to do that. Bring you guys information that will get you through the game. The issue is the game got a lot easier. There's no need to play meta characters. Back in the day, a year and a half ago, if you were to bring an Outlander to any mission in the game that you just weren't farming with your friends, you would be ridiculed and laughed at. Now, Striker AC is one of the best characters in the game for crowd clearing and farming simultaneously. You see him everywhere, from low Plankerton to all the way up to high Twine Peaks. You see that character everywhere. You cannot define your playstyle in this game anymore by what is needed, because basically anything works. You can play basically any character, ones that you may like the look of but aren't that meta, and I say go for it. In this day and age, in Fortnite Save the World, until harder content is released, fun is better than meta, and enjoy what you like playing. If you come into my game and you're playing Airheart, or if you're playing Pathfinder Jess and you're at least contributing to the mission, hey, more power to you. Play what you like. There's nothing in this game currently that is so difficult that you need to play Urban Assault Headhunter every single game, and I think that's what they're kind of striving for. They want you to be able to play whatever you want and enjoy it at the same time. Now, granted, when harder stuff does come out, if it does come out, then yeah, maybe meta builds will have to be implemented once again, but until that time, play what you want, enjoy the game, play any character you think might look cool, act cool, or do cool things. And that's really all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you guys think about Airheart down in the comments below. Do you like her? Do you think she's underpowered, overpowered, or anything in between? We will see you next time here at TikTak Gaming. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you. TikTak out.